In this video, I'll assume that you already have a basic Xcode project set up and you've already actually accessed the Rotten Tomatoes API and pulled in and created an unstyled table view. So what I want to show you how to do in this video is how to begin to style that table view cell arbitrarily so that you can start to put in new elements into it. So I come back to our project where I have this very stock UI table view cell. I'm going to expand this a little bit to give me a little bit of room to work within. And then I'm going to search in this objects library below for elements that I want to put in. So I'm going to drag this label in. This will be my title, the title of my movie. And I'm just going to make this wider and a little bit taller. And then I'm going to option click on this and drag to clone this view so that I can have a label for my synopsis. So I can just have a little fun with this. I can click on this label. I can look at the font selection here, and maybe I'll make it a bold style and a little bit bigger. And then for this synopsis, maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. And you see this number of lines here. So what this one means is that it's going to allow you to have a one-line label, but then it's going to truncate it. So I can specify a 2-line label, a 3-line label, or if I put the number 0 here, it's going to do as many lines as it needs to up until the height of the label that you've given it. So once I have this here, I need to have some way of programmatically accessing these labels. So I'm going to create a new group here to store all my custom views. So inside of this views group or folder, I'm going to create a new CocoaTouch class that's a UI table view cell. So not a UI view controller, but I'm going to subclass a UI table view cell, and I'm just going to call this a movie cell. So if I go back to my main storyboard, I need to somehow tell Xcode that this cell is associated with this movie cell here. I'm going to expand my layers view here and click on movie cell so that I can click on this icon right here. It looks to me like a little bit like a driver's license. Driver's license tell you who you are. So this thing is a movie cell. And at this point, I think I'm all set up from a views perspective, except that I need to create outlets for these two labels. So I'm going to open up this assistant editor here, and I see that it's matched me to the movie's view controller. But I can see that when I've clicked specifically on one of these labels, down here in this automatic selection, I see I have now two options, the movie cell or the movie's view controller. So I'm going to click on the movie cell and create one outlet for the title view, the title label, and it's good convention to end the variable or the property with the type of what it is. So this is a UI label, so it makes sense that this ends with the type label. Don't call it title because that's going to be confusing with the actual movie title at some point later. So I'm going to create another outlet here for the synopsis label. And after that, I'm done with my movie cell. So I'm going to go to my main movie's view controller here. And at this point, once I dequeue this, it's true that it's a UI table view cell, but it's also true that it's a movie cell. And the benefit of downcasting it to this movie cell is at this point, not only do I have access to all of the normal UI table view stuff, but I can see that my new outlet, the title label, is exposed here. And so I can set this to this thing instead. So cell.synopsis label .text similarly is something like this, except that instead of title, of course, it'll say synopsis here. This is just the key that's returned by the API. So if I were to run this, then I should see a table view of titles and synopses. So the only limitation here is that you might notice that all of these rows are static height, and therefore these synopses, the synopses are getting clipped here. But that's the subject for a future video.